Happy Sunday! I am coming to you live. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. This is a recording. When you're watching this, it is Sunday morning where I'm at. I'm not sure where in the world you are. It will be Sunday morning to me recording this. It is Saturday. And I'm having quiet Saturday, I would say, today. I've got most of the kids are away doing other stuff. The only one that's home is my eldest son, and he's a grown-up, so I don't have to, you know, he handles himself. So I am pretty much on my own this weekend, and I can spend my time as I please. And actually last night, even my oldest son went away, and he had a thing he was doing, and I had a few hours of complete solitude at home. And I cannot remember the last time that happened. It was so cool. It was so quiet. It was so quiet. I had planned on knitting and watching a movie or two, or but I basically just sat here for like, I don't know, almost 2 hours, just enjoying the silence, which was so cool. Yeah, so that's my weekend. I am planning on doing a lot of sewing, because I really need to catch up on my sewing projects. I have a lot of ongoing projects, I have a lot of upcoming projects, I have a lot of things that I need to fix or mend in some way. So that's my plan for this weekend. I'm really excited. Can you tell? So yeah, but today we are going to talk about knitting, and I think maybe we should just start off with I would say where we left off last week, but actually I don't remember where I left off last week. But I did talk about the Ixchel sweater, and I have made some progress over the week, and I thought I would show you. Let's see what's front and back. Okay, so current status of the Ixchel. God, I need to check up on how to pronounce that. I have, oh, it's not as low in the back as it would seem. There you go. I have finished all the patterns for the body, and what remains now is just knitting in, let's see if I can pick up the yarn as well, the navy blue, for as long as I would like to have it. And I also I finished this last night, and I could finally try it on for the first time since I started knitting it. I posted a picture of that on Instagram. You can hop on over there if you want to see it. But it was amazing. I swear I'm going to live in this sweater. It is so good. It is so cozy. It looked good on me, if I may say so myself. At least I felt good. I felt like I looked good in it. And that's all that matters, right? So I'm very happy about that. I will be starting the sleeves now. And my plan is, since I dyed yarn for this myself, and I did have a look at how many yards you needed to make the sweater, and I kind of went from that. But my plan is to knit the sleeves now, and once they are finished I'll know how much yarn I have left of the navy, because the sleeves are mainly navy. There's some patterning on the sleeves as well, but not as much as on the body. And once the sleeves are done, I will know how much navy I've got left, and I will, oh, I made a yarn barf, oops. And I'll know how long I can make it in the body. I was actually surprisingly happy with the length that it is right now. I didn't feel that I needed to add a lot more, which is kind of odd, because I usually like, I'm not a crop top person, I've never been. Granted, I do have packed some extra weight right now, or not just right now, I have been for a while, whatever, which also, at least for me, makes me feel more comfortable in a garment that's a bit longer. And but this one was, I don't know, I didn't quite feel that need to make it really long. I don't know, it looked good. It looked good. So we'll see. I'll do the sleeves, and I will try it on again, and we'll see how I feel. I may not make it as long as I thought I would, because I don't remember the pattern right now. Actually, I didn't check, but I think it's just just a small edge, and then there's ribbing at the bottom. So it's not much longer than this in the original pattern, I think. So we'll see. I am either way very, very, very happy about this, and how it turned out. And I'm also starting to get excited for the next project that will follow this one, which I think will also be a huge favorite of mine. I dyed up some yarn in one of my own favorite colors, and I'm planning on designing a little something, but that's for the future. For now, very happy about this. We'll be starting the sleeves tonight, I think, probably. And yeah, it looks good, don't you think? What do you think? Are any of you knitting this? Let me know. I would love to see what you're all doing. I am following the Ixchel sweater hashtag on Instagram, so I do get to see a lot of projects there as well. But if you're not posting on that hashtag, you know, please do. I love to see everyone else's varieties of this sweater. So, yay! Coming along nicely, and I also think that's the body with all this. Oh, I'm making it through myself. With all the patterning and all, it's definitely the most time-consuming part of this sweater. So, which is why it's been taking me. Oh, I started this on Christmas Eve, didn't I? Yes, I did. This was my Christmas Eve cast on, and it is now January 19th. Yeah, it is. So I've been knitting on this for, I've been working on this for 3.5 weeks. I didn't even realize it was that long. But I've been, you know, going easy, just chugging along, haven't been in a hurry or anything, because there's no hurry to finish it, and I wanted to enjoy the knit as well. I haven't had a set date or a set event or something that I wanted to have it finished for. But yeah, so I've just been taking it easy. And it's a lot of pattern. I think it's a good thing to do that when there's a lot of pattern happening. I do have one thing to comment on the pattern. When you come to the final section down here, there is, I think so, around here, before you start, you know, the darts down on the arrows, you have to, for some of the sizes you have to decrease a few stitches, and for some of them you have to increase. And I had to increase 4 stitches for mine, which means that since this pattern is starting so close to the pattern above, it does get a bit askew, because you're adding on 1/4 of a pattern repeat, so it doesn't, for the new pattern repeat, and it doesn't line up with the pattern repeat above. But at the same time, it's such a busy pattern, so it's, I don't know. Oh, my needle's poking through. So I don't think anyone will be able to tell, you know, because this looks good, right? It's a busy pattern, so I don't think you can tell, but it was something that I noticed while working on it, and I don't really mind. I don't. So very happy with this one, and I'm going to stop talking about it now, even though I could continue for probably an hour more. You will see me in this sweater a lot, I promise. You totally will. So, okay, let's put that aside, and my yarn barf that I created here. That was no good, but okay. There you have it. So I've been working on that. I've actually been focusing a lot on that sweater, because I've been wanting to get on to the sleeves, even though like I said, I haven't been in a hurry in any kind of way with this sweater. It's not intended for anything in particular, no event or so. I was starting to realize that I wasn't starting to realize. As it has progressed, I've been feeling more and more like, oh, this is a project I'm really going to love wearing. So I have been inspired, you might say. I've been inspired this past week to knit more on it. Enough about that. Let's continue on to, I have a lot of stuff lying here. I will probably be editing and uploading for a week before I'm done, but whatever. No, hopefully I'll be done by tomorrow. Okay, I'm sorry, I need a bit of coffee. Always need coffee. Okay, so speaking of events, let's go there a bit. We'll just go a bit back and forth here, I hope you don't mind. It has been, the past week, it was finalized that I will be going to the Sewing and Crafts Festival in Stockholm again. It will be on February 15th to 17th. And I did this in last October. It went very well. And I wasn't sure if I could afford, because it's quite expensive to go there. And I have been having a lot of things to pour my money into, you might say, lately. But it was finalized now that I will be going there as well, and I might just wear my Ixchel for that show, at least one of the days. I'm hoping to have my next project that is also a sweater. I can disclose that much. If I can just find a design that is fairly quick to make, because it's not that far away, it's a little less than a month. And I do have a lot of other projects as well. But I will be going to that, and I am really looking forward to it. From what I've been told, it's a bit smaller, and there are not as many visitors to this fair compared to the one in October, but I'm hoping it'll be good nonetheless. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I have started preparing a little bit for that. I booked a hotel, which is good. They have a hotel that is basically the next building, or the buildings are basically built in with each other, so it's really nice. So I have organized all of that, so that's all finished. But I've been dyeing a bit more yarn, and yeah. And speaking of which, let's just continue on to, yeah. I had a small shop update this week. Okay, so the bloody thing just cut me off again. I really need to figure out why my camera does that. It is so annoying. I don't know. Maybe I need a bigger memory card or something. If you have any thoughts or ideas, let me know. It's annoying. Anyway, I was heading on to shop update, which is just a small one this week. It's only 2 colorways. I did the Ice Palace. Can you see the color of that? It is on Blueface Leicester in DK weight, which I haven't had before. I carry the same colorway in Chunky Merino, so this is a new yarn weight for that. And I also made some Baby Like My Fire also on Blueface Leicester DK weight that I added into the shop, and this one I've only carried on MCN previously, so it's a new yarn weight for that as well. So those 2 colors are new in the web shop this week. I'll link it below, the web shop, if you want to go have a look. And yeah, so I'll just put that over there. I have so much stuff here. Yeah, so just a small update, shop update this past week. It's been very busy. I had a birthday. I think I mentioned it last week that someone was having a birthday in the upcoming weekend, and it was actually me. So I think Monday just kind of disappeared in all kinds of things, and I didn't have any time to dye yarn that day. On Tuesday I had sort of decided to have like a day off. It was kind of my birthday treat to myself. As it turns out, I had to spend a large chunk of that day cleaning out my garage, but there you have it. It was actually quite satisfying because I got a lot of stuff out and away, and I could put my car in the house, which was, no, in the garage. My garage is in the house, whatever. So I was actually very happy about that. So I'd only dyed yarn actually on Wednesday this past week. So hence the rather small shop update this week. Yeah. Where to now? Okay, let's continue on the birthday thing. I'll just try to get it organized here. I have, like I said, there's a lot of stuff here. So I decided to cast on a birthday knit since it was my birthday, and I do have a Knit Crate prescription. Prescription? Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? I mean, a subscription. I would take it as a prescription also, though. Anyway, earlier this fall I got a yarn called, I didn't bring a skein, and I'm not wearing glasses. Anyway, whatever. I can put that in the box down bar below. I decided to cast on, when you get the Knit Crate, you have the subscription that I have, you get 2 skeins of yarn, and you get a folder with different patterns and stuff. And the yarn that I got was, I don't know if you can show, I'll just show you what I made. This was a pattern that came in the box, and it is, oh, there's a glare. Ooh, can you see that? Ah, there we go. Okay. It's the Uru yarns. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Uru yarns, sugared worsted in colorway wolves. Maybe I could show you closer. Oh, that was tricky. Can you see that? The pattern that came and that is pictured is actually in that colorway. I think there were 4 different colorways in the boxes that month, and I actually got this color in my box. And I really like this. It's a hat and a cowl and fingerless mittens. And I decided to make that, actually. So, I made this hat. Can you see the pattern? It's a very fun and easy pattern. And I'm not sure you can tell on camera, but this yarn has some, not stellina, but oh good heavens, well it's sparkly. It's sparkly, but it's a very subtle sparkle, so I don't know if you can see it on camera. I did post some pictures of this hat on Instagram, and I tried to, you know, catch the sparkle, but it's really tricky. So you can see it in real life and hopefully on camera like this, but on Instagram I just totally failed on catching it. Anyway, I made this hat. I cast on my birthday and finished it the next day, so it's a finished object for the week. Oh, I have to weave it in. I have 1 thread left because I am trying to decide whether or not to put a pom-pom on. What do you think? Oh, you can tell this background is too bright. There you go. Should I put a pom-pom on it? I don't know. Anyway, I had quite a lot left from the first skein. I haven't broken into the second one yet after doing the hat, so I thought I would do the fingerless mitts as well, and maybe, I'm not sure if they intended it that way, but I think I might be able to do all 3 projects, both the hat and the mittens and the cowl. So I'm hoping that. So I have cast on for the mittens as well. I have just finished the first cuff, that's all. But I do have quite a lot of yarn left. This is from the first skein. I haven't weighed it, but I think before I started knitting the cuff I had like, oh good heavens, about half, almost half the skein left, I think, after knitting the hat. So that should be good for bare fingerless mitts, and hopefully the last skein will be enough to do the cowl. And yeah, it's a really nice yarn to work with. It is, I'm having so much fun with this. I would absolutely buy this yarn again, or you know, like in a store. So I'll have to, because I looked at the other, where did I do put that there? There was like this color. Oh, there's the glare again. I'm sorry, I'm sitting there, can you see it? I'm sitting opposite a window to get good lighting because I don't have studio lights yet. I think that's one of the colorways that came. Also gorgeous. And I really wouldn't mind owning that as well and making something of that. And like I said, it's a very, very, very nice, smushy, soft yarn to work with. And I'm making yarn barf again. Seems to be the theme of the day. So I'm making that, and like I said, pom-pom, no pom-pom. What do you think? I have to admit I am sort of on a pom craze right now, and I want to put pom-poms on everything, and then some. So there's a fair chance that there will be a pom-pom attached to this hat. So yeah, let's put that away as well. And the table is still full. Could you believe that? Okay, so where was I? Well, birthdays. Let's continue. Birthday. On the day before my birthday, last Monday, I received a magazine in my mailbox, and it was this one, Knitter magazine, and I have a feature for my yarn in this magazine, and this is actually the third one that I have done with this company. So I don't know if you can tell. There we go. It's the blue one there in the middle. That is one of my yarns. It's the Still Got the Blues on DK Weight Blueface Leicester. And here's the fun thing. I've been a knitter for a long time. I'm celebrating 40 years as a knitter this year. I kid you not. So I was fairly much an avid knitter during the 80s, 1980s, way back when. And at that time my family also had like a pot yarn shop, pot kiosk. We sold like sweets and magazines and yarns and, you know, things like that. So I did knit a lot back then. And I also remember that during the 80s we started having all of these fun types of yarns and with different effects and all that. And there was one knitter that was like above everyone else back then, and that was Cave Fassett. And he is today, the man is an institution in the knitting world. If you don't know who he is, you know, start Googling. So, and I am, if you haven't noticed already, I'm a sucker for colors and patterns and color work. It's, you know, it's my thing. And this is a lot what Cave Fassett is working with. There's a lot of colors and patterns and stuff like that. And he was a huge inspiration to me back then in the 80s. And he has basically been my, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like a knitting god in my house ever since. So let's get back to the magazine. I received this last Monday, and I open it up and I am looking for my feature, and then I realize that on the next page it's a design by Cave Fassett Studios. Can you imagine? To me, this was like the stars aligned. First I noticed the sweater and I just, oh, I like that. This is so, I would love to make that. And then I realized where it had been designed by whom. And I'm like on the very next page with my yarns. Killjoy, I tell you, it is. I think the only thing that would bring me more joy on this subject would be to actually meet Cave Fassett himself and just have a sit down and talk, I don't know, knitting and inspiration and all that. So to me that was kind of a I don't know, a yay kind of moment to have my yarn featured on the page next to Cave Fassett. Yeah. hopefully I will have the opportunity to meet him someday. That would be lovely, no doubt. And if not, I still have this. Okay, enough nerding. Where to next? Well, I did post on I think both Instagram and my blog about this because there was another coincidence in addition to this, because only like a couple of days prior to this magazine arriving in my mailbox, I had started a new pair of, oh shoot, fuzz. I had started a new pair of socks, kind of a basic pattern that I am making for, well, partly to make a new pattern and partly because I wanted to test knit one of my own yarns in an actual pattern, and I wanted to surprise my friend Jonas, who absolutely loves this yarn. And the funny thing is, I'll show you, this is my sock project. It lives in my upcycled bag. I don't know, did I show you this last time? Maybe I did. The yarn is, oh shoot, my Lemony Lime on fingering weight MCN, merino nylon cashmere, and this is how far I've gone with the socks. I don't know if you can tell, there's like a diamond pattern on these socks. Can you see it? I don't know, maybe I'm too close. Okay. Did you notice, hang on a sec. Oh, I have to put down the magazine. Did you notice the, oh, where did it go? There it is. Pattern on Cave's sweater? Oh yeah, like I said, the stars aligned on that one. I had no idea that this pattern by Cave would be in a magazine. I actually hadn't seen the pattern before. I think it's published in one of his books. And I just, you know, when I was trying to decide on what pattern to make on these socks, I wanted something simple that kind of just more flaunts the yarn than being actual color knitting, which is usually what my go-to. So I think it was kind of funny that I just, you know, like a couple of days prior had started knitting these socks and making this sock pattern that is the exact same diamond pattern that is in Cave's sweater, except that I am doing it in one color and not several. So that was kind of fun. This is now one of my more, I don't know, leisurely knittings, you might say. So there's no hurry for this one, other than I would of course like to finish the pair and get it sent off to my friend Jonas, whom I hope will enjoy the socks once they're done. I'm going to make the same type of socks in a different color but in a smaller size, because I want one for myself. Now I'm making them in his size and my feet are slightly smaller. So that's something I've been working on as well this past week. And what else? Well, there's been a few bits and bobs here and there of other types of knitting. But what I am starting to focus more on is that... Wow. What I'm trying to focus more on is to actually finish some of the pattern designs that I have started previously. I'm sorry, I forgot to tuck back one of the needles here. To finish earlier pattern designs that have been ongoing for, well, some for a long time. I'm sorry, I'm looking at them right now. And some not so long. Why don't I show you these first? This is a pair of socks that I have been bringing with me to different fairs and Christmas markets and stuff, and they get a lot of attention. People love these and they want to buy them from me. This is actually the prototype for a pattern that I have been working on since, oh that's not true, I haven't been working on them all the time, but I made these in I think July last year as part of the, I'm not sure what they called it, the Grocery Girls 12-month sock along something along those lines. So I made 12 pairs of socks. Actually, in total I made 17 pairs of socks, but I entered 12 of them into their cal, and of those 12 I designed all but one pair, I think. If you want to see all 12 pairs, go have a look at my Instagram or my Ravelry page. They're available there as well, but I did post on Instagram all 17 pairs that I made last year, and this is one of them. This is one my own design, and I have been thinking for the longest time that I was going to write down this pattern and have it published, because they are popular. People like these. The problem is that well, I haven't gotten around to it. I've had trouble finding time, but also I need to do some edit because it's a bit too tight over here, so I need to fix it so you pick up more stitches here to get a wider instep. But other than that, the pattern is actually basically finished, so I'm just going to re-knit these, and then I will probably be able to publish that pattern finally. It's long overdue. This is I would say it's a more advanced pattern because these, let's see, there we are. These like tropical flower things have, at a few points there are, I think, like 4 different colors. No wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 different colors that you're working with at the same time, stranded color work. And it does take some time to untangle the yarns, and this is not a project to do if you're in a hurry or if you're not used to working with stranded colorway projects. So it's a bit more advanced, but you could also omit, because in the middle, the center of the flowers, let's see, there are 2 different colors. It's a bit hard to tell, but you can actually omit one of them and just use, you know, cut back on the number of colors in your project. But it will still be some untangling to do while working on this. But they're pretty, very pretty. And I think these are a bit tight for me over here, so I think these will be probably gifted to someone, or maybe I will put them in the web shop eventually. We'll see. But this is a pattern that is very high up on my list of project to finish because it is so close to being finished. I have the diagrams, I have everything. I just need to re-knit them and to change this part. That's all. And like I said, they are very popular, so I really should get to it. Continuing on the theme of color work, I did way back in 2013, I think I started. I made a pair of, no, 2014 I think it was. I made a design. I was inspired by someone. I live not too far from one of the largest cities in Sweden called Uppsala. You may have heard of it, or you may have not. And someone made a design for the Uppsala mitten with some architectural things on them that you knew it was Uppsala. And I got inspired by that, and even though my first hand choice would be to make Uppsala mittens myself, it felt like, she's already done it and I'm not going to compete with that designer. So a friend pitched the idea of making Stockholm mittens. And I thought, yeah, why not? I'm going to do that. So, I'm sorry about the crinkle. I designed a pair of Stockholm mittens. Let's see if we can find a pair. We'll use these ones. There they are. The cuff tells you the number of rows in the cuff, tells you what year they actually became a city, acknowledged as a city. And there's a bridge that is very famous, and there's the city hall and a famous church also that are on the front of the mitten, also very classical Stockholm motif. And we have, this is the Stockholm Globe Arena. This is Kaknäs Tower, also famous landmark from Stockholm. And this pattern on the inside of the mittens is from Sergels Square, which is a famous square in the middle of Stockholm that everybody knows. If you've been to Stockholm, you've seen it. And yeah, and then you can add in the year that you made your mittens. I knitted these in 2014. And these have been for sale, so they have never been used. It's just leftover pairs that I have lying. I've got these. I am thinking about keeping these myself because I do have a pair I made for myself. And these are well worn by now. They need a wash now because I've been using them a lot this winter. I use them all the time. And I washed them, machine washed them. There's no problem. So they're kind of like almost felted. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Oh. You can see that? You can see these are more like fluffy almost. I do also have a couple of other pairs. Here I have one in green. I don't know, does it focus better if I don't put them so close to the camera perhaps? There you go. And you have the pattern on the back side of the thumb as well. And I've got a pair of red and light grays. And there you go. And I have also got, I actually kind of like these. They are very up there. These are very cool. Maybe I should keep these instead. Or maybe I should knit a whole new pair, because all of these were made in 2014. So maybe I should make a whole new pair for myself. After doing that, I don't remember exactly when, but it's, I don't know, like a year or two later, I decided, because they became very popular, I decided to make the Stockholm socks as well. Now, it's the same patterns. You have the number of rows in the cuff states what the year Stockholm got its urban privileges, which was 1436. You have the globe, you have the church and the city hall and the bridge. On the back side you have the Kaknäs Tower, and you have the pattern from the Circle Square as well. So I made a pattern for that as well. These are actually in the pile of socks that I need to mend, which is when I went to grab these because I knew they were there, and I just want to show them to you real quick. And I opened the box and I realized I have at least 12 pairs of knitted socks that I need to mend because I worn them out. There's a hole in them. I wear basically nothing other than knitted socks. So and once I wear them out, I just I put them in a box and I mend them and I use them again until they fall apart, basically. So Stockholm mittens and Stockholm socks. The pattern for these, both the mittens and the socks, are of course available in the web shop. But I didn't stop there, of course. I am also a sucker for making sets of things, which is why I of course want to knit both the hat and the mittens and the cowl in the birthday knit that I had. And I of course need to do that with these projects as well. So I have, for the longest time, we're talking years now, had the Stockholm hat as an ongoing project. And it's not much of a hat yet, as you can tell. I have knitted on needles 2 millimeters, so it's a daunting project. It takes some time, and this is what I've made this far. And my thought was to make a brim that you would fold like that, which is why it's only black on the inside, because there was no need to do colorwork knitting there. And the number of rows in the cuff here indicates the year that Stockholm got its urban privileges. So what I need to do next is to decide what the rest of the hat is going to look like. And I think that's pretty much where it just came to a screeching halt, the whole project. Because I can't decide, or I haven't been able to decide for, I don't know when I started this project, but it's at least 2 years ago. So it's just been sitting there. So I don't know, should I put all the buildings and the bridges and the globe and all that? Should I do just the circle square pattern? I don't know. I need to think about that. But what I do know is that this hat is now at the top of the list of projects that I need to get done, together with the tropical socks. Those two are at the top of my list now. It's time to get this going. And one of the reasons why is because I actually have a pattern for a different Swedish city. Same thing, same concept of architecture in knitting, I guess you could call it. That I started working on also. Oh my lord, it's 3 years at least. I think we're actually closing up on 4 years on that project as well. And I made you know, the whole pattern, and it's a pair of mittens I started on that. And I made a whole pair, and I wasn't happy with one of the elements in it, and I have, you know, talked to friends about it and had some ideas, and it also just kind of halted. Which is so sad, because I love these types of projects. It's so much fun. So I am going to pull myself together. It's time. And I am going to get this done. And instead of having these, you know, just piling up and feeling that, oh my god, I need to finish, I'm just going to decide that this is the project I am finishing first. And as soon as this is done and I release the pattern, and I'm going to head on to the next city. And then I have a whole list of cities that I want to make these types of projects for, both in Sweden and in Scandinavia and all over the world. So, let's get to it. So, I think that's pretty much it. I have been debating whether or not to comment on the current discussion on diversity, but I have decided not to do it on in this format. I will be writing either a blog post or an article on LinkedIn about it, so if you're interested in taking part of my views on that, have a look out for that. So, and other than that, yeah, my battery is dying, so I think I'll just wrap it up real quickly here and get on to my sewing. And yeah, I hope you are having a really nice weekend. I hope you're having a very relaxing Sunday, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!